Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Tom Jerkin and I'd like to welcome you all to Double V's official catch-up video. That's right, we're about to cover everything that's happened so far in Double V, as well as what happened outside of Double V with Double V wrestlers during the break. So let's begin. We started off back in July of 2017, our first pay-per-view, Out of Control. Here we saw the debut of the villainous Evelyn, who won the Aurora Championship and became the very first woman to do so. Then there were the Wolves, who defeated Barrett and Winter to become the very first tag champs. In the main event, Jack and Maya took on longtime rival AK-47 for the Double V World Championship. In a long, hard-fought match, Jack prevailed and won the very first title of her career. 0 Hour was the next pay-per-view, but Jack and Maya had a roadblock before she made it there, in the name of Tia Cassidy, the only woman to pin Maya at that point. They battled for the title at S&T's Summertime Blues event, and Maya emerging victorious as she moved on towards 0 Hour. At 0 Hour, we introduced the Trios Championships. Wright and Hammerfall battled for them in a traditional 6-woman elimination tag. In the end, Hammerfall emerged victorious. Evelyn had a second defense of her Aurora Championship, defending against the quick rising Royce Calhill. The two had an intense fight, and just as it was beginning to look like Royce had the upper hand, she had made one fatal mistake, costing her the match. And in our main event, Jack and Maya took on perhaps her toughest opponent yet. The fairly new debut at the time, Nakano Takeo, had made it to 0 Hour undefeated, and she wasn't about to let that change now. Nakano hit hard, but Amaya managed to withstand through pure heart and sheer force of will. Amaya hit Takeo with 4 implosion kicks in a row in each corner of the ring, successfully defending her Double V Championship. The next pay-per-view in the future was Undisputed, but again there were road bumps for Amaya. On episode 11 of Double V, she defended against the Nightmare, Akira, in one of the most vicious matches of Amaya's life. She was torn, beaten and bruised by Akira, but she managed to get some hits in herself, of course. Just as the match seemed to be coming to the close, Nightmare ran in, attacking Amaya. However, Amaya had some help of her own. Nakano Takeo, with newfound respect and friendship for Amaya after the 0 Hour match, ran to her aid. She fought off Nightmare, which gave Amaya the opportunity to nail Akira with an implosion kick and pick up the victory. The next road bump came in the name of New Generation Rising Second Surrender. On episode 12 of Double V Wrestling, the Renegade Riley Reeves went up against her lifetime rival Kale Vallon. The winner would face Amaya at Second Surrender for the title. Riley fought hard, but in the end it wasn't enough, and Kale Vallon picked up the victory. Then at Second Surrender, Jack and Maya versus Kale Vallon. Kale wasn't messing around, she took it straight to Amaya, picking her apart, hitting her with sickening strikes and tearing her apart. It was clear the damage was beginning to build from Amaya's reign, but she didn't give up. Amaya fought back against Kale. She tried her hardest, but in the end it just wasn't enough. Kale wrapped her arms around Amaya's neck and locked in the sleeper hold. Just as it seemed that Amaya was fading, the bell rung. 20 minutes had elapsed and the time limit had been reached. The match was declared a draw, Amaya narrowly escaping with her championship. And so, we arrived at Undisputed. In the opener, Hammerfall absolutely took down Wright, proving their dominance and retaining the belts. Then Nakano Takeo continued her rivalry with Nightmare, battling Spectre, the former Sun Ki, in a 15-minute Iron Woman type of match. The title would change each time they pinned the other. Whoever was the champ at the end of the 15 minutes, they agreed would be the better woman. In the end, Nakano Takeo walked out with the Huntress Championship. With the tag titles, the challengers, the Queens of Wrestling, the team of Brandy Lee and Ami Amari, accompanied by, of course, the NGR Women's Champion Andromeda, fought Outlaw, consisting of AK-47 and Tia Cassidy. However, along with much abuse from AK to Tia. AK also abandoned her lover and partner and left her to defend the belts alone, stating she had something more important to do. Tia tried to fight the Queens off with some help of Rachel Sampson. It was seeming like it was possible, however, eventually the Number Games caught up to them. The Queens of Wrestling had won the Tag Team Championships. Later in the night, Royce Calhill challenged Evelyn for the second time for the Aurora Championship. The match was hard, long, brutal, incredibly back and forth. The two kept battering each other, until one moment when Royce made the same mistake at 0 hour. However, Evelyn didn't even attempt a pin. Perhaps she knew it wouldn't be enough this time. Evelyn mounted Royce as she began to ground and pound, just laying it into Royce, busting her wide open and dazing her. Royce was brought back to her feet. She was shaky, blood pouring from her wound. Eve hit her with the sleep paralysis, covering her for the 1, 2, and 3, but it wasn't a 3, it wasn't enough. Royce kicked out just in the nick of time. With fight left in her, she reversed Eve, threw her into the corner, taking her to the top rope. Royce hit her with a top rope shatter, winning the title at long last. In the main event, Jackamaya faced a slew of competitors desperate to continue proving herself. She said she'd take on anyone and everyone. In this main event, she did just that, with elimination rules applying. Eventually, it led to only 2 people in the ring, Jackamaya and the returning Sarah Walker. Jack was tired, beaten up, and worn down. Sarah was quicker than her, outplaying her at every turn. And just when it seemed Amaya's amazing reign was finally going to end, she pulled out the last trick she had up her sleeve. Jackamaya nailed Sarah with a vicious low blow to the chorus of boos. She sent Walker to the corner, nailing her with an implosion kick and picking up the victory. That was, of course, the end of Season 1 of Double V Wrestling. Season 2 was very short-lived, as a mix of real-life issues continued to delay the show until it went on hiatus for months. Royce Calhill successfully defended her Raw Championship in Episode 2, beginning a feud with AK-47 and Tia Cassidy, and in Episode 3, the most recent episode as of now, and the last one in kayfabe, before Royce and Jack defended their belts. Royce went up against AK-47. AK had forced Tia to lay down and take a pin in order for herself to get here, and she had beaten up Royce in Episode 2. Not only that, but she had also gotten Winter to beat down Royce earlier in the show. The match was a story of resiliency. Royce just didn't have it in her to take it to AK, besides a few choice moments. But dear God, did it take a lot to keep her down. Royce kept going no matter what AK threw at her. And in the end, the referee had to stop the match, deeming it too dangerous for Royce to continue without properly defending herself. Due to the referee stoppage, AK-47 won the Aurora Championship. Next in the main event, Jackamaya versus Riley Reeves. This match was surprisingly technical, even footing, back and forth action, evenly matched. Reeves survived an implosion kick, 2 implosion kicks, and as Jack went for the second implosion stomp of the match, Reeves rolled out of the way. She picked her up and went for the danger zone, nailing it. However, there was a problem. Before she got the cover, music blared over the speakers. The referee was distracted, looking to see what it was, as did Reeves. Then in from behind, Angel, a hired mercenary, appeared. She swung a baseball bat right into the skull of Reeves, laying her out on the mat before rolling out of the ring. The referee, none the wiser, Amaya crawled over and covered Reeves, picking up the win and retaining her title in the most dastardly way possible. With the nature of Angel's paid bounty hunter-like business, it seems Amaya must have paid her to be her insurance for the match. And with that, we're all caught up on the big things that have happened thus far in WV. Of course, there's plenty of more small things as well as the matches themselves and such, so if you feel like checking it out, there's a playlist in the description of this video, and it's all available on the WV YouTube channel. After Episode 3 in kayfabe, there was a few months long break out of kayfabe, of course. We know that Episode 3 was released after the break, but the stories and content was written and recorded shortly after Episode 2. Either way, of course, as the wrestlers they are, just because WV was inactive, it doesn't mean that the wrestlers were also inactive. We'll cover a few events that happened in the break now, the most important of which was probably the path of Kel Fallon. In the break, Kel joined the American promotion known as the CWL, the Created Wrestlers League. Over there, she dominated in the process. She broke up with Ava Anderson and Akara Cody, leaving Legion behind. Kel went on a long undefeated streak in the CWL, and she is now the Nemesis Women's Champion with a record, a big record of 28 wins and 6 losses. Legion, of course, set out to find a new member to keep their trio strong, and they settled on someone who had been trying to find their way for a long time. Legion recruited Alice Piper into the fold, and thus Neo Legion was born. AK-47 and Jack Amaya, as the champions they are, defended their belts during the break, Amaya once and AK-47 twice. And now Double V is set to return. The Victory Cup is coming, and the winner will go on to fight for the World Championship in the main event of Double V's biggest event yet, Terminal Velocity. Double V is back, and it's better than ever. Thank you all for watching. For anyone who's just followed this journey, I'd like to sincerely thank you. And for anyone who's only just joining, welcome, and I hope you all enjoy. Thank you, and of course, as we always say here in Premiere, we'll see you all very soon.